The Jerry Jeudy trade rumors are starting to heat up once again. So, ever since it was announced yesterday that the Denver Broncos are going to be releasing Randy Gregory, or at least they're going to try to trade him, but we all know that nobody's going to trade for that contract. The team's going to have to cut Randy Gregory. Ever since that move got announced, the outside national media perspective seems to be that the Denver Broncos are potentially having a fire sale, even though fans and media analysts who are a little bit closer to the team, such as us, we know that that's not necessarily the case. I feel like the Denver Broncos were just sending a message to the rest of the team by moving on from Randy Gregory. Now, if we go a few more weeks down the line as we get closer to the trade deadline and the Denver Broncos haven't won another game yet, then we can definitely start having that conversation about a fire sale. But at least for right now, I feel like those rumors can be a little bit tampered. But at the same time, man, I've seen several local media outlets from teams such as the Detroit Lions, the Miami Dolphins, Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots, Cleveland Browns. I've seen several local media outlets that have at least entertained the possibility of their team trying to acquire Jerry Jeudy in a potential trade. It seems that Jeudy is the hottest trade commodity for the Denver Broncos if they wanted to try to get something going, at least from a media perspective, although we don't necessarily know what conversations are being had internally between GMs, between various teams. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors necessarily. I don't think that the Denver Broncos are necessarily looking to move on from Jerry Jeudy unless they get an offer that absolutely blows them away. The question then becomes, what would that offer be in a hypothetical scenario? Now, I think we can look at this from a couple of different teams' perspectives here. We have teams such as the Detroit Lions, the Miami Dolphins. Those are teams that are potentially looking to add another weapon to the fold, and those are teams that are in Super Bowl windows right now and maybe could feel like adding Jerry Jeudy would be that last piece that they need. Miami obviously has so many weapons on offense, but who knows? They may want to add one more, and Jerry Jeudy would make too much sense, man. He's from Miami. I believe he still lives down there during the offseason. He's got that connection with Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle from their Alabama days. It just would make way too much sense for Jerry Jeudy to potentially be reunited with his hometown team down there in South Beach. So I could see the Miami Dolphins maybe being like, all right, if Jerry Jeudy is that last piece that helps us get over the hump, they could maybe give up their first round pick for him. The Dolphins are going to have probably a pretty low first round pick this year, so I could very easily see a scenario where the Dolphins are willing to go, okay, F them picks, let's just send that and get Jerry Jeudy and get that last key piece that we may need to really get us over the hump and get us in Super Bowl contention, because we all know how unstoppable this Miami Dolphins offense is already. We witnessed it firsthand in the 70-20 gashing in week 3. Imagine what that offense could do if they had Jerry Jeudy in the fold. Then there's the Lions, who may have a similar mindset. I don't know if the Lions would necessarily want to give up a first-round pick for Jerry Jeudy, especially because they have Jameson Williams, they have Amon-Ra St. Brown. But I could see them potentially wanting to give up like maybe a second-round pick and a player. That's the draft capital that I feel like would be the bare minimum for the Denver Broncos to move the needle here. It's kind of unrealistic if you think about it. I don't know what team, aside from somebody like maybe the Miami Dolphins, would give up that high of draft capital for a player that, let's just be honest, has underachieved in the NFL in Jerry Jeudy. He's got incredible talent and incredible potential, but at the end of the day, that talent and that potential has to translate onto the field on Sundays, and thus far, it's been kind of a mixed bag. Jeudy's gotten a pretty slow start to the year, and right now, the Denver Broncos' top receiver, at least in terms of production, is Marvin Mims. So the Broncos may want to get guys such as Marvin Mims more touches, guys such as Brandon Johnson more touches, and sure, they'll probably want to leave Jerry Jeudy in the fold because he is our most talented and most dynamic weapon in the receiving game, although I would again argue that Marvin Mims is starting to really showcase he could fill that role as well. But again, with Jerry Jeudy, I don't know if the Denver Broncos are going to want to move the needle like that in terms of a trade. Then there are other teams that we have to discuss, such as the Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots, Cleveland Browns, who may not necessarily be directly in a Super Bowl window. Cleveland's kind of in a gray area right now, but Patriots are definitely not in a Super Bowl window. And then Carolina, they're a couple of years away. But I do know with the Carolina Panthers, they are desperate to add another weapon in the receiving game for Bryce Young. And of course, JEUDY and Bryce do have that Alabama connection, although they didn't attend Alabama at the same time, but there's still that connection there with being Nick Saban guys and all that. I could very easily see the Panthers be heavily interested in bringing in Jerry JEUDY. They don't have a first-round pick this year because of the trade to go get Bryce Young, but they do have a second-round pick. Realistically, though, man, I think Carolina's offer would be a little bit closer to like a third, fourth round pick. That's probably going to be some of the offers that are out there. Again, there's only like one or two teams out there that I could really see offering elite draft capital for Jerry JEUDY, and those are teams that are basically feeling like they're one piece away from getting over the hump, and that one piece is Jerry JEUDY, if that makes any sense. JEUDY is still under control contractually for the Denver Broncos through next season. He's going to be playing next year on his fifth-year option. The Broncos are definitely going to have to make a decision if they want to commit to paying Jerry JEUDY long-term, and right now the answer is probably no, so maybe the team does want to sell high, but again, I just don't know how many teams out there are going to be offering the draft capital that Denver is looking for, and because of that, I don't know what is going to materialize in terms of a potential Jerry JEUDY trade. All right, Broncos country, I'm curious, do you feel like there's a chance that Jerry JEUDY gets traded? I personally feel like the wide receiver who's more likely to get traded is Courtland Sutton. We've talked about that ad nauseum on the channel, but if JEUDY were to get traded, what would be the draft capital that would get you guys to move the needle if you were George Paton, if you were Sean Payton? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts, as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are two free and easy ways to show your support, helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.